Happy Wednesday. Please remember to watch the chapel video that Mr. Danny posts for Pastor Tia. It is going to be a pretty awesome one, so I'm excited to see what you all think of it. All right, let's look at our story today. This is telling us a true story. Remember, the Bible is always telling us the truth, and this story comes from the time whenever the Israelites left the Egyptians to go and wander in the desert while they're waiting to go to the promised land. So God told them they had to spend 40 years in the desert. All right, after Moses died, Joshua became the leader of the Israelites. God led them into the promised land. He led them to a city called Jericho. The city was protected by high walls. Still, 2 spies found a way into the city. They went to Rahab's house. The king of Jericho ordered his soldiers to capture the men. Rahab hid the men on her roof. When the soldiers arrived, she said, "The spies have already gone. If you hurry, you may catch them." So the soldiers ran off to find them. "Thank you for helping us," the spies told her. "When we come back, we promise to save you and your family." Then Rahab helped the spies to escape. All right, let's start looking at your math. So today in math, we're going to start looking at fact families. Remember, we used fact families at the beginning of the year. They were the things that look like little triangles. So I'm going to draw it out as a triangle for you, but we'll write out the whole fact family together for the first one. So you can see this beautiful little treasure chest. These fact families are like treasures. They help us to remember how to add and subtract with lots of different numbers. So they're starting with 3 plus 5 equals 8, and 8 minus 3 equals 5. So we know our 3 numbers that we're dealing with here. We have 8 goes on top, then we have 3 and 5. So with that information, we can write out our whole fact family. So whenever we're adding, we use the 2 numbers at the bottom, and we add it to equal the number at the top. And then we just switch this around. 3 plus 5 equals 8, and 5 plus 3 equals 8. And then we're going to do the opposite for our subtraction. We start with the biggest number. We start with 8. 8 minus 3 equals 5, just like they show here. And 8 minus 5 also equals 3. We don't need to use any other numbers, only the 3 numbers that they show you. Let's read the short story that goes with that. Sasha found 5 pearls in the treasure chest. Then she found 3 rings. How many treasures did she find all together? All together is one of our detective words that means we should add. So we need to add 5 and 3 together to equal, and it shows you the answer, so you can figure that out and write it here. So your fact families should look just like these, with your answer here being what 3 plus 5 equals. Let's look at number 2. Number 2 is going to be another fact family. We're going to have a triangle, just like we did for 3, 5, and 8. This time we're using the numbers 6, 4, and 10. So our triangle on top is going to have the number 10, because 10 is the largest number. So we see 10 at the top, 6, and 4. So we're going to add 2 of them together, and we're also going to subtract 2 sets. So We know we add the two small ones first. They show us an example of that is 6 plus 4 equals 10. So I'll write that one out, 6 plus 4 equals 10. But I know that I can switch those around, and if 6 plus 4 equals 10, then 4 plus 6 would also equal 10. They show us the example that 10 minus 6 equals 4 because we always start with the biggest number. Subtracting down is 10 minus 6 equals 4, just like they show you. And if 10 minus 6 equals 4, then 10 minus 4 would also equal 6. All right, let's read the story that goes along with that question. Anders had 10 coins. He gave 4 of them to his brother. So he had 10 coins and gave 4 of them away. He had 10 coins and gave 4 of them away. How many coins does Anders have now? So if he had 10 coins, he gave 4 of them away. How many does he have left? All right, now we're going to look at this last set of fact families for this page. We're going to have 10, 6, and 16. So the rules are still the same. The biggest number goes at the top of your triangle, and the two small numbers go on the bottom. The two small numbers added together should equal the top number. And the top number minus one of the small numbers should equal the other small number. So it starts by showing us that 10 plus 6 equals 16. 10 plus 6 equals 16. So if 10 plus 6 equals 16, we need to do the opposite and go 6 plus 10 equals 16. We're just switching these numbers around. And they also show us that 16 minus 10 equals 6. So we always start with that biggest number when we're subtracting. 16 minus 10 equals 6. We also then would know that the biggest number, 16 minus 6, would equal 10. Let's read the story that goes with it. Lucy put 10 gold bars into the class treasure chest. Her teacher wants the chest to have 16 bars. How many more bars does Lucy have to put in? So, it's telling us that Lucy put in 10 bars, and this is the total her teacher wants. So how many are in between 10 and 16? There's your answer. Let's turn this over and look to see what the next page has for us. All right, it looks like number 4 is working with more fact families. We know that if we take the top number, subtract this number, it will tell us this number. So I'm going to quick erase this board and show you how you can figure out those problems for yourself. So we see with this yellow triangle that 12 minus 8 will equal what goes here. So I should have 12 minus 8 equals this number. So you can draw out a number line to figure out what 12 minus 8 would be. And then for the green one, we're going to start with 12 again, but instead of 8, we're going to use 3. 12 minus 3, again, draw out a number line and go backwards because we're minusing. 12 minus 3 equals what? That will go right here. Then we're going to move on to your red triangle. We're again using 12, and we see 12 is the largest number, so 12 minus 7 equals your answer. So 12 minus 7, use a number line to figure it out, and it will go right there. And finally, we're going to move on to this purple blue looking triangle. And we have 12 minus 6 to equal what goes there. So I'll let you figure those ones out. And I'll move on to number 5. Shannon wants to have 12 bushes in her garden. So she has planted 6. How many bushes does she need to plant? All right, so we know that she is going to want a total of 12, and she's planted 6. So 6 plus what equals 12? So you can count the numbers in between, or we can minus like we talked about yesterday. So you can write it out as 6 plus what equals 12, or you can write it out as 12 minus 6. So you can write it either way to figure out your answer. You could draw a number line and count the numbers in between starting at 6, which I'll show you here, 5, 6, 7. So, we'd start right here and work our way there. 1, 2, 3. Count those bubbles, and that's your answer here for number 5. We also see that 12 minus 6 was the problem we worked out here for this blue triangle. Number 6, Jimmy found a box with 12 toy cars for his party guests. 8 friends came to the party and each took a toy car home. How many cars are left? So we know that the total will be 12 toy cars is how many he had. And 8 friends came to the party and each took one of the toys. So 8 plus what equals 12? Or we can write it out as 12 minus what? Or 12 minus 8. So you can draw your number line and start at 8 and count to 12, or you can subtract, just like you did for this yellow box. 12 minus 8 equals what? All right, number 7. I'll erase this real quick first. Carly's pearl necklace broke. There are 3 pearls were left on the string. 9 pearls fell to the floor. How many pearls were there in all? So this time we don't know the total yet. We know that she has 3 pearls left on the string plus the 9 pearls that were on the floor, and we want to know this total. We want to know how many there were in all, which is what tells us to add. So 3 plus 9 equals your answer. Number 8. In Sal's desk, there are 7 pencils, 5 crayons, and 3 erasers. How many items does he have in his desk? There are a couple of ways we could do this one. So I will show you 2 of those ways. Now, we could say that we're going to start with 7 pencils plus 5 crayons plus 3 erasers and figure out what that equals. Or, and when we do that, we would go 7 plus 5 and write that total here and add this number to that number to put it here. Or we can draw this out. We can go, there are 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pencils. There are 5 crayons, so I'll draw my crayons like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there are going to be 3 erasers. 1, 2, 3. And I could count all of those and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's your choice how you want to do it, because now you know so many ways to do these math problems. All right, let's look at your phonics. Okay, today we're going to be clapping out the syllables of these bold words, the words that are darker. I will read the sentences to you, and you're going to clap out the words and write the number in the bucket of how many claps it takes to say the word. Dad helped me fix up my place. So Dad helped. Helped. How many claps did it take to do helped? Write that number here. It is a place away from everyone. Away. Away. Write that number right here. Number 3. It is between the branches of a tree. Branches. Branches. Number 4. It is my hiding place. Hiding. Hiding. Number 5. I go there to read my books. Read. Read. Number 6. Only my best friend knows about it. Only. Only. All right. Put a dot in each bold word to divide the syllables. So where you would put your clap in the word. They gave us the word backpack, and they put the dot in between. So backpack. Come up to our clubhouse. So you need to find where you're going to put the dot between those two syllables. Clubhouse. Clubhouse. Put your dot right in the middle between those two sounds. Number 2, we can stay out of the sunlight. Sunlight. Put your dot right in between those two sounds. We're going to turn it over and continue doing the same thing, just like the example, hide out. Hide out. Number 1, I can see the playground from my hideout. Playground. Playground. Put your dot right between those two sounds. Number 2, I can see upstairs from there. Upstairs. Upstairs. Put your dot between those two sounds. Number 3, I like to watch the sunset and think. Sunset. Sunset. Please put your dot between those two sounds. Now we're going to move on, and we're doing words that have double consonants, where we see two of the same letter. Remember, when you see that, normally the dot's going to be between the two letters, just like we have in happy. It's between the two P's. I take my kitty to my happy spot. Kitty. Number 5. She cleans her muddy feet. Muddy. Mud-D. She sits on the sunny ledge. Sunny. Sun-ny. Remember to be putting your dots in. All right, now we're going to look at words that have suffixes. Remember, a suffix is when you have a word and then you add a small part on to make it a new or different word. Like sleep is a word. Sleeping is also a word. So they've added ing to it. And when they add that ing, it adds a syllable. So we put the dot in between there. Sleeping, sleep-ing. Number 7, I will be staying in the hideout overnight. Staying, stay-ing. Number 8, I keep a few dishes for snacks. Dishes. Dish. Es. And finally, number 10. An old braided rug makes a good bed. Braided. Braid. Ed. All right, have a wonderful day and remember to watch your chapel video.